There we go. Both of us on there. Let me pull up yours.
Hey, Autumn Bunny, how you doing, mate? Happy National Bunny Day. That's it. Happy National Bunny Day.
There we
How
go.
you doing? How's the family?
All right. Got ours up. We're ready.
Hey,
Oh my goodness. Let me pull up one of the stories I'm thinking of looking at.
yep, they're good. They're in Cali for spring break. You're home though. Oh, I was going to say no fair, but that means you get a holiday yourself. When they're all gone, you can just sit back and you go, I'm going to walk around the house naked and dance to really dodgy music, and nobody can say shit because nobody's here.
Let's push
Well, that's
this
what I
out
do.
on Twitter.
So,
All right.
whole week by yourself. It was great. Ah, fantastic. So, here with Bolts tonight, and we're going to be going ahead and discussing. We're brainstorming for different story ideas for books. Bolts is an author and a publisher, and that, and well, I dabble.
Getting all these
I can't
messages
say
like, what are you doing?
I can't say an author because you're the one that's gone ahead and been published.
Gee, as soon as I go live, they start coming in. Live on Twitch. Hopefully they stop texting me, you know.
So yeah, no, we're just brainstorming ideas for and working together to sort of
Come up
people
with a
go ahead and write
storyline for
something.
new books
Yeah,
or possible new books and also the
possible
ones
new
that we're
book.
working on. So the main thing is the books that we're working on we can't talk about yet. It's our own personal NDA on it. But the thing is that we can talk about ideas on how to enhance the book, find out the audience of who we're going to target. So it's going to be young adults, it's going to be adults, it's going to be children. So all those dynamics fall into when you're writing a book. So if you
Yeah,
can't write like a murder mystery for kids, you know, the kids will be traumatized.
yeah, the
They'll be like,
poem
"What?"
published in high school. Don't
Yeah.
remember it though, so that's not your favorite dream.
Be like,
Ah, mate, embrace it, embrace it.
yeah. So the great thing is that most of my books I write are in fantasy. I like fantasy because of a lot of games that we play together and stuff. And it's easier for me to write about things that I'm passionate about. I love writing about mystical creatures, dragons, so many different things that we talk about, we read about when we're in our adolescent ages to now. But you don't find relevant books that'll spark your interest anymore. You just have to go back to the old books, and there's nothing new and fresh that can, resonate with you. So our goal is to try to write books that will trigger your thinking process and challenge what you think is reality. So
Never let the magic die.
yes, so that's some of the things that we're looking at. We actually was talking about it for like I think probably a couple hours earlier.
You reread the inheritance cycle every year. Nice.
There you go.
I don't think I've read that one. The inheritance cycle. I would look that up. Oh, okay. That's yeah, Christopher Plonny, Eldris Bassinger, Inheritance. I've got them. Yes. Erigan.
All right.
Yes, I have them. I didn't realize it was called the inheritance cycle. So there you go.
Move that off. All right.
I'm a huge fan of Raymond E. Feist, so I tend to go ahead and read the Rift War saga and everything like that over and over and over again.
So, what kind of book is that? What genre?
A fantasy.
Oh, that's okay. That's really cool. So, what other books you read, Autumn Bunny? Besides fan, like what genre really pulls you in to want to read more? It's about dragons. Yes, everybody loves dragons, you know. And this is the year of the dragon right now. So,
Yes, Autumn Bunny's all fantasy as well.
oh, nice, nice. All right, let's see here. Okay, so one of the books that I'm working on that I'm not sure if I'm going to put it out or not yet is Shadows of Utopia. So it's an interesting one, but I don't know if I want to branch off to new books or focus on my current book, Eclipse Dragons. So Eclipse Dragons is very deep, and I want to expand it to at minimum 4 books, but it can really push out to possibly 8 books, 8 to 10 books, depending on how I want to dive into it and stuff. Teflon, how you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. I'm a Wenchkin right here. Wenchkin is one of my other streamers that I stream with, one of my buddies for a long time.
Hey,
And we got
Teflon.
into writing, so writing is something that it's almost like therapeutic for me.
Mm,
So,
very much so.
if I'm dealing with anxiety or depression, or if I just want to get away from work or anything else, I just sit down and write and create things and stuff. So, this
Well,
is,
I suppose it's the benefit of you get a good book, you start reading it, and it sucks you in and it takes you to that other world where, with writing, you're creating that other world. And if you can suck yourself in while you're doing it, you're onto a good thing. If you can't go ahead and engage with your own story and be drawn in by your own story, how do you expect other people to go ahead and get that experience? That's where I feel about it when I'm writing.
exactly. And that's how I see it. So, we decided this morning, we were talking for about an hour or so. And I was like, man, we have so many great ideas. We should do a stream.
They're talking about our current works and
Yeah.
everything like
So it was like a real quick, like, hey, what's going on? Happy Easter. To, hey, man, yeah, I've been working on my books and stuff. And all of a sudden, it's just like, we always probe each other on getting into the story and expanding. And whatever we write, we bounce off ideas. And it's like, crap, maybe I should go in a different direction, or I'll park this one and start from scratch. Because the good thing about writing and having a group of writers is that once we're in a room together, when we pitch our idea of what we think is great, sometimes when we listen to other people, it's like, oh man, maybe I should write it in a different perspective, or I should add that to my story as well, or subtract a certain things. Or nope, you're talking too wild. I'm not into that. So that helps
that.
us create something even better for you guys as readers, and that's what I wanted this platform to be about today. This is our first ever talking about writing and
Hey,
sharing
Benny,
some
how
of our
you doing,
stuff.
mate?
Oh, welcome, welcome, Alba, Benny. But all the other ones that we see, they're editing and doing sprints on writing. For us, I wanted to share, me as a publisher, I wanted it to bring it to where we can talk about creating that story. Because creating the story is more important than watching a writer already writing their script and doing their stuff. That's good for a certain audience, but for me, I want to tap into those who's interested in writing, those who have ideas about writing, and is in the process of it. And that's the main goal of my publishing company is to work with writers that have, you know, those fresh ideas and want to do more. So how can I help you tap into that? And with Winchkin here, he's seasoned in so many different areas. He helps me bring some of those things together. So that's a great thing about having friends that's diverse in so many different things. So I love that. And I wanted to bring him on here with us to see what we can do to help some of you guys as viewers. If you have ideas, share it with us and we'll talk to you
And
guys
show
about it.
show our thought process of like
Yep.
what we were spent tonight going ahead and doing from sort of a basic idea, sort of where I had a story grow in my head, and it's been running around for about 6, 7 months now. And I've been developing it and working on it all in my head, hadn't written anything down. And finally, I got to the point where, what am I going to do with this? So I gave myself half an hour. It was sort of, right, half an hour, put some words on paper or get the fingers typing, and let's see if this can manifest what I can do. And I did that, and it was sort of, wow, I like that. It's sort of those thoughts and ideas, they just sprung out. They just came to life, and it set the mood. It was sort of like that. So I went ahead, ran it past Bolts, and yeah, he was sort of, dude, you got to write this. And we started talking more about it. And at that stage there, that's when it was sort of decided, well, it's not going to be a one-off, it's going to be a series. And all of a sudden we start breaking down and sort of, right, this is what book one's going to be, this is what book two's going to be, this is what book three's going to be. And setting all out just by going ahead and brainstorming a bit. So we sort of want to sit here and talk about our processes, and let's go ahead and start a fictitious sort of
Like a
premise for a book and
Yeah.
show the process.
I see your question there, Teflon. If we thought about writing a sci-fi, ever think about doing a sci-fi fiction with fantasy combined? That can happen.
Oh, look at this sci-fi fantasy with a 1930s private eye type. Well, see, I like the private eye, the detective style ones.
I didn't want to give it away, but yeah, we were just talking about that, and that's what sparked us to come on here because Winchkin has a great idea that he pitched this morning, and I was like, wow. Not Owl Bunny, welcome. Appreciate you being here on the stream too as well. But yeah, we had that conversation, and I was sitting here in
Yep.
awe, like, dang, this is how you can run it. Practical Porsche, welcome, welcome. I appreciate you being here. Man, you guys are coming in strong. I appreciate that. But
Right.
yeah, Winchkin has such great ideas. It's like how we write is in the same field, but different areas. And that's what's great about it because some of the ideas I may have about detective work, I can pitch to him to help him push his narrative on whichever books he wants to push that way. And his sci-fi stuff helps me, with a lot of those other things as well. Used to read a lot of Doc Savage and Hardy Boy. We were talking about the Hardy Boy. This is how you
Hardy Boys.
tell we're in the same age group. We just gave away
Hardy
our
Boys are a
age
big
group
influence
right
on
there.
both of us as well.
We were just talking about that this morning. And
Just don't know where to get it published. Funny you should mention that. Bolts.
so, okay. So I have my own publishing
I'll get you
company.
in.
Bamboo Village Books is the name of my publishing company. And if you have LinkedIn, you go on LinkedIn, you'll find us on there as well. But I've published 5 books so far. So out of the 5 books, one of them is going to be a box series. And actually, I have it right here with me. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Right there. Well, I have my little thing on, but you can't see it. Eclipse Dragons. You'll find it also on Amazon. So if you go to Amazon and type in Eclipse Dragons, you'll see it on there. And once you click on the book and it shows the different tablets on there, you'll see my picture on there. You'll know it's me. So I love writing about dragons. I love those type of things, and I wrote that book out of the last eclipse we had. So the last eclipse, I was sitting there and I was watching it, and I was like, man, that'd be cool if I can write a story about that, and the person would have dragons. So my main character in there is a disabled girl, and this woman is the lead character. So she's disabled, and she has two dragons. One is on the solar eclipse and one on the lunar eclipse, and that's her dragons that protects her. And the story goes from there on to various different challenges and adventures. And doing those, she meets so many different people, mystical creatures, and all types of stuff. So it brings you into that world. Now, I'm almost done with book two. Book two is at 90% done, but I need it to be done before this next eclipse that's coming up April 8th. So April 8th is my published date for this one. And in this one here, the interesting thing about this book is that I'm bringing my gamer tag in there. So you're going to see Bolts the Meek in this book. You're going to see Thundercloud, which is my first initial gamer tag name. So I'm trying to bring in some of the realistic stuff into it to push that narrative out there. But yeah, that's like the series I'm gonna run with. And I can't tell you much more about this one, but it's really good. There's a lot of challenging moments. There's time where you have to really decide what side you're going to be on. It's going to be a bigger battle than the first book, and it's just the tip of the iceberg, you know. So I'm excited about that book. That's like one of my favorite books because I love writing about it. So my thing is, my book is too big, so I have to bring it down. Your birthday is April 14th. Hook you up. Hey, I got you, brother. So I do book writing tours and stuff. I go do book signings and stuff like that with our local radio stations here in
Excellent.
Texas.
Next time you're in Australia, you pop by my place and bring me a copy and sign it for me.
Oh, definitely, definitely. The crazy thing is that my first ever book signing, I went there and it was like I wrote my first little autograph and stuff, and it was like really cool. And we had a lineup of people coming to learn about our
Yep.
stuff, and I'm signing. I was like, man, I feel like joining the military again. My hands got tired of signing and
That
writing a little
never ending
paragraph.
sort of.
You run out of words to say to people when they're like, oh, write something about me. It's like, I don't even know who you are, but I want to say something nice, but I don't want to keep it like templated to each person that's coming by to sign. So,
Yep.
but yeah, it's really cool. That's the good part about it. Um, the bad part, oh, damn, I can't even talk. The bad part
Hey,
of
Steve, how
publishing
you doing,
books.
brother?
The bad part is sometimes people will write you a message. They'll find you on social media and send you a message. I had a young lady reach out to me, this young woman, and out of one of my books, the guy dies in it. And she didn't like that the guy died. So she wrote a little message like, hey, I can't believe the guy died. You gave him like no hope and this, that, and the other. And my first response is like, ma'am, don't you know this is a fantasy? It's a non-fiction book, but she didn't like that the guy died. So, I had to explain to her some of the things. So instead of being negative about it, I was like, I appreciate that feedback. And in my next book, I'll make sure it's not as dark as you perceiving it to be, but it's not that bad.
It's always an issue though with killing off any of your characters and that because where a character may not have resonated with you and you think I'm safe going ahead and killing this character off sort of it doesn't resonate. He's done his job. um, we'll go ahead and get rid of him. Benja, thank you very much for the raid, bro. Thank you
Ah,
very much.
nice.
Welcome everyone.
Welcome to the
um,
stream.
but you don't know who that character actually did resonate with, and you go ahead and kill them off. And as you found out there, someone sort of you killed them.
Yeah,
You
she
you,
went
you
off
killed
on
them.
me. I was like, I had to show my wife. I was like, yo, can you believe this?
Yeah.
Thanks, Teflon
That's
Panther. Appreciate you being here. That's Teflon Rhino's wife right there. Thank you for stopping in. We have a lot of new people coming in today. That's really great.
yeah, Teflon Pepper. But yeah, so where we want to start with tonight's run.
All right, so do you want to talk about one of your current projects and
Oh,
not
I
get too
suppose
detailed on it, or do you want to create something brand new? Like start from scratch and see, okay,
let's go from scratch and just work through the design process. Let's,
all
as
right,
I said, let's brainstorm this and build.
all right. So,
Because hey, Dynamic, how you doing, brother?
hmm,
Meet again, but this isn't Star Wars, so no nasty cyborgs.
so let me pull up a Word document. So me, when I start um, processing stuff, I go through Word and then I just dump stuff on there.
Yeah, where I
So,
I go ahead and first and foremost for me is Babisco. That's my writing tool of choice. Um, and that and strangely, sort of, I know it's controversial and a lot. Um, Getting into Chat GPT, finding it is a really cool tool, especially where it comes to like get stuck for names for bloody NPCs and low level characters and stuff like that in the place. And find I sit there and agonize for hours trying to go ahead and think of names where, yeah, you can get ChatGPT and it's sort of give me 50 names of a male, 18th century male, and it'll just bush.
yep. I use ChatGPT as well for brainstorming some of the ideas and stuff, and also
Yep.
to create the background for some of my
Okay.
characters. So
Yeah,
in there,
haven't gone that with it or anything like that. I'm very light on regards to it. Sort of take the tedium. You know, if I need street names, if I need uh like low level characters or stuff like that, we'll go ahead and pull that up, and it just takes the tedium that where it's and like character names. I lose myself for hours there trying to go ahead and figure them out and get them done.
gotcha. Yeah, for me, I go for like
Wilfred,
so I create my
nice.
characters, and once I create my characters, then I have to create the behavior of these characters. So that's what I use ChatGPT for. So
Oh yeah, the core stuff you want full control, and that's one of the things that I really do like with Babisco. That it has, when you create a main character, there is an insane amount of questions that it goes ahead and asks you in when you develop this character, that you spell out every little nuance of them, and you can really get it going. But where it comes to secondary characters and tertiary characters and everything like that, it's just sort of, yeah, you're a name. You throw away.
yeah.
I
So like
don't
what's your
want them
process
overlapping.
of when you create it? Do you create your antagonist, protagonist first, and then build your supporting characters around that, or what's your process, Wenchkin?
My process is I will go ahead and have my protagonist, and it's really funny. An antagonist may end up going ahead and being one of the last things that I actually go ahead and have,
Mm,
because I've got to figure out how the antagonist is going to interact.
yeah,
And I find that sort of when writing it, I will have the protagonist there, all these side characters, the people that are in up close with it, everything else. The story's starting to go ahead and get told, and all of a sudden, someone who may have gone ahead and been a side character is there, and then I will sort of veer, and it's sort of, oh, guess what? You've just been promoted. You're no longer a side character now. You're an antagonist, and sort of we'll go through from there. Where, yeah, they just seem to very naturally evolve into the role. I don't try and force something on there, and being that I like a lot of the um, supernatural fantasy and stuff like that, but also have a mystery type edge to things.
Interesting.
They, until they need to go ahead and make an appearance, I don't try and force them into a story. It'll sort of let the story evolve until they need to make an appearance. And you could go ahead and have a protagonist that has been beset and attacked by the bloody antagonist for all this time, but they don't know who it is. And
Yeah.
it hasn't come through to do it. So that way, when they do actually go ahead and make an appearance, it's a reveal for everyone involved. Not only does the character go ahead and get to find out who it is, but the reader gets to go ahead and experience that sort of shock there. They may have gone ahead and been working beside this person the entire time, but it's just sort of, yeah, there we are.
Nice. Okay, let's do the challenge since we already have a challenge that I tried to overlook for a little bit, but it was still processing in my head.
Yep.
Okay, we were told by Teflon Rhino that have we ever thought of doing a science fiction and fantasy combined? So let's create a
Yep.
storyline or something with that, since that's our first little challenge
It
of,
said Detective 1930s with that.
ooh, so how can we throw that in there too as well?
Well, one of the really cool things with 1930s, with a sci-fi fantasy, that very much opens it up to a steampunk type scenario.
Mm,
So that's where you can go ahead, step out, and sort of let's look at sort of a steampunk type, a steampunk elf, yeah, but you cyberpunk 1930. But yeah, we have that. Um, but you've also got like 1930s. It's after the Great War. It's after the Great Depression, but very soon after the Great Depression. So
hmm.
some people are recovering and will have a little money. A lot of people are still in that sort of loss of the depression. So this is where you could go ahead and introduce steampunk elements to it. That depression, while it went ahead and halted a lot of development, growth, and everything like that. Yeah, well,
Elf is
it's
perfect.
not going up like diesel punk and that. You, with the depression, go back to the Steam, sort of the smart people, sort of how do we go ahead and do this without needing to do that? Where go back to the older technology and forced advances with
Hmm.
that. So come
So,
out
so let's set the scene. Let's set the scene.
versions of this.
So set the scene of it. Like, okay, so I'm seeing some here saying alternate universe,
Yep,
um, alternate timeline,
yep.
Kelvin. So is Kelvin going to be the main character's name? Data Mech 5000?
Yep. Right. Rhino's liking the elf is perfect.
Nope. Okay, so what's the main character? What is the name of
Make
the
it
main
from
character you want to
a
have?
not a human perspective, more like alien private eye on another world. Cars or flying, whichever they are. Old roadster types with modern flair.
Hmm. So,
Okay, so no, that's fine because like where you could look at that one, it's we're still earthbound. Great War went ahead and happened. That there, let's look at fey creatures, supernatural creatures that have gone ahead and exist in all different cultures all over the earth. That tumultuous war that went ahead and did it, where they've gone ahead and been in the shadows, been back, and that now they've had to go ahead and come out. Even if they were just fighting for their own lives, everything was being destroyed around them. They were there, but they bring their own technology there. So hence we go ahead and get the more advanced sci-fi technology that these guys have been using to remain out of our eyesight for so long.
okay, so let's introduce you have ghosts, you have dragons, orcs, aliens, humans, all share the same world. You have pretty much all the mystical creatures there.
Yeah,
And he's a
we've got
detective.
the full gamut that we can choose from, so we're not limited in any way there. And
Hmm.
it also then gives us a background if we're looking at sort of being able to look at aliens, what we can do as an expansion type deal is because how did the Fae get all of this advanced technologies? How did they remain out of our eyesight, our knowledge, and everything like that for thousands of years? They've always been there, they've coexisted, but we've not seen them. We've not done this. They've got huge cities and everything else. That, but then as you investigate that, that's when you can look at other cultures and sort of their dealings with alien races. In which case, you've sort of got like Egyptians, Mayans,
Gotcha.
uh,
Okay, so
all.
let's crank it up. Let's crank it up.
Yep,
All right. So as this detective is going through the process of trying to figure out the world and stuff, there
yep,
are portals in this world. So now he can use a portal to jump to say the
yep,
moon or other planets
yep.
or other timelines and stuff like that. So you remember the Marvel comic Cable? He can jump
Yes.
timelines and go, you know, through different places. So this guy could possibly have that. And as he's going through, what are the triggers before he start becoming that detective? So he's a guy, yeah, like a slider. There you go. Nice one. So he is doing his everyday work, right?
Yep,
He's working as a young cop.
yep,
So this is almost blends into what we was talking about earlier. He's a young
yep,
cop.
yep.
He's doing his work and stuff. And then as they start bringing in people to book him, he started noticing different things about them.
Mm-hmm.
So as that start triggering, he's saying, okay, what is going on here? You know, I'm a new cop, and this is a norm that everybody doesn't address. So as he see different creatures, mystical creatures coming in, they go in this one room and then they disappear. So he's like, what is going on? So his curiosity sparks him to start going into that room. He opens up the door and there's a stairwell just going downstairs. He thought it was a regular office, but it's not. As he follows the
Take,
stairwell down to the bottom floor, he goes into a room where he sees a bunch of portals in the room. This brings
take
him
it a
to
step
World of
further.
Warcraft, how they had the
Yep,
portals in Orgrimmar, all the different ones to
yep.
go to
But
different realms.
okay, take it a step further.
Go for it.
Problem there, I see a cop, a room with that sort of stuff there. That wouldn't be kept in any police station or anything like that. That it would be the existence of that stuff would be kept classified, everything like that. So, being again this time period here, instead of being a cop, why not go ahead and be a military intelligence asset?
Hmm.
War, see lots of things. This that disruption there, that's when you could start seeing things out of that. But that time there, being in sort of the intelligence agencies, got access to these classified things. That's where they could go ahead and see these things that don't start adding up and then start investigating, looking internally.
Gotcha. So to trigger that, maybe his
Sounds
boss
like
came to him
control.
and said, "Hey, go drop these files in the code files." So he
Yep.
goes into the code files, and like somebody mentioned a ghost, maybe he ran into a ghost in there that's asking him for help. So that's where the ghost comes into the story, and the ghost can be like a supporting character through his detective work and stuff.
Yeah.
So as he talks to the ghost, background checks. So, with that, his boss says, "You know what? I may have a
Or you
case for
go,
you to work on."
go ahead and for some reason the ghost is bound in there and
Oh,
has been for
yeah.
ages. While he's down there, he works through, finds, releases the ghost. That's how the pair of them are now together and working along. It's sort of more than just a friendship. He's gone ahead and freed this. He's proved to this ghost that it is sort of not someone just to bind him or use him or run scared from him and that. He's actually done something to help it.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so from there, he went from desk
Trust.
job to cold cases. So now he's working on cold cases.
Yep.
And as he worked cold cases, that's where his credibility builds. And then he has the clearance to start going into that new field that you were mentioning.
Yep.
So now he can do intergalactic work and stuff like that. So as he start doing that, that's when he start running into the different types of creatures out there in the world. The dragons, the
That's
orcs,
where
the
go ahead.
humans.
Yeah. Have the elves, dwarves, dragons, orcs,
Yep.
aliens, all of that there come in. And that's when the role, again, as an intelligence asset, that there is used to going ahead and being behind enemy lines all the time. Traveling to another world is just going ahead, and they may not be an enemy, but it's all unknown. And it's the learning, the gathering the intelligence, the putting stuff together, and then making the on the spot calls.
Gotcha. Okay, so you asked Teflon if he's an elf. Um, Not sure yet. So he can be some kind of creature, but maybe his partner could be an elf, or we can write it where he's an elf and doesn't know it. So when he was born, his parents they may have been searching for elves and stuff, and his parents may have cut his ears so it doesn't look like an elf and stuff anymore, but he has those features, or
Removed from
he
the
could be
society,
a
so
half
had no
elf.
knowledge of it.
Yeah, he could be a half elf as well. Have some of the features of the elf and some of the mystical um, advancements of
See,
them.
half elf goes ahead and works because then he could go ahead and, for all intents and purposes, look human.
Yeah.
And he's just, for some reason, inexplicable reason, he has never been sort of particularly susceptible to normal things because he, unbeknownst to him, he carries elven immunities
Ooh, nice.
and the like there, but he doesn't know of that part of his heritage or anything else there. So it's just, for some reason, it doesn't affect me.
So what kind of
And
elf could he be? A dark elf, wood
yeah,
elf? Going into some of the games we play with different elves and stuff,
that's it.
it could be so many different things. And then that could probably breed some extra talent down the road. Will he
Mm.
have mystical powers? Will he have like spells and stuff like that? Or, to strength stronger than an average person? Like who is his coworkers and peers going to be? So those are other things to dive into because now we have an idea of what the main character is. We already know one of the supporting characters is the ghost. So who is going to be the antagonist to create that conflict?
Well, the
So
thing is, there, where do we want to go with it? Do we want an antagonist that is for one book, one story, or we're looking for an overarching antagonist that is going to be there and carry on. Because if you're looking for a single episode antagonist, then it's easy enough to sit there and go, right, an antagonist is going to pop up on the portal location and that will eventually resolve in one way. Where if we're looking for something that is more overarching, then we're going to be looking at someone that is aware of the portal program, aware of his history that he didn't know, and is back there and possibly close to it.
Ah, good one. All right, so viewers, you guys are the ones that's helping us build the story. So which direction do you want to go with it? Let us know, and we'll try to build this. It's almost like I feel like it's Dungeon and Dragon type thing, even though I never played Dungeon and Dragons or done any of those
Mate,
things.
this is what you do as a dungeon master. You create
Ah,
a world, you create a scenario, you put down the rough of the story, you present it, and then wait for the players to tell the story. You're not there to tell them how to do it. You're going to do it well. You give them the rough world, you give them the breadcrumb, and then you let them tell the story. And you just keep filling the blanks and dropping the breadcrumbs for them to keep on creating and telling that story as you go along.
nice. So what if we create something like that for book writing,
Yep.
and in time we build like a writers guild or something,
Yep.
and that's where we can help each other create stories to build their own book. Because
Yeah.
my goal and intent is for you guys to have an idea, run with it, build it, where you can publish a book and you can make money off of it. And writing a
Hmm.
good story that, more than one person would like it. Because you can write the best story of your life that you love, but if your audience don't like it, then, you know,
Well,
it's
that's
not going
it.
to do well.
Uh,
Reminds you of the world Shadow
I
World.
remind me of Shadow World RPG. I've never played Shadow World RPG.
Yeah, what is that one? Let me Google that. Now, for you viewers out there, any of you guys ever thought about writing a book or wrote a book already or interested in those things? I'm curious to know as well. Shadow World.
High fantasy campaign setting situated in fictional planet of Colthea. Originally
Oh,
produced for the Rollmaster role playing. I've got Rollmaster role playing system. Shadow World is fairly compatible with other D100 games such as High Adventure role playing, Harp, Middle Earth role playing against the Dark Master. Okay.
oh, okay. A D&D type game. Cool, cool. Gotcha. That's interesting. When I have to look at that. So if we start this story, where would the location be? Would it be on Earth? Would it be on another planet? Would it be out in space? You know, since it's an alternate universe, we can create actually another world. So,
In this particular scenario, I would probably say Earth. Give the readers something familiar to go ahead and bond to initially.
all
As I
right.
said, we look around the 1930s, go ahead and draw on the sort of here he is, his intelligence asset, he's been through the Great War, done that.
He
People
got
start to form their own preconceptions about who it is
so he got a
and what it
fedora
is.
hat, a long coat. It's raining
That
outside.
that's it. They're going ahead and starting to see this person, picture it, believe what they are believing with it. Then it's sort of drops in sort of, oh, can talk to ghosts and do stuff with ghosts. There's something didn't expect to go ahead and have here.
Yeah.
Didn't expect to see portals. Didn't expect to see that. The discovery that sort of you're a half elf.
So
We've now got the addition of other fey creatures in there. Expand fully, give them a um, proper insight into the fact that, yeah, during the Great War, you just went ahead and caused so much havoc. These races that have remained happily hidden and obscure to you for centuries have had to come out into the open and do that. During the wars, some of their defenses broke down. That's how they found the portal technology. That's been brought in, kept in here, and
so let's see.
expand and grow. Then the portals give you the possibilities once you've already set a base and then blown their mind and gone, no, it's much larger than you thought. You can take it anywhere.
All right, so let's start the beginning scene. So say
Okay.
we're gonna change it into it's a book, but we want to change it into like a TV series of some sort. I wouldn't say a movie because a movie is beginning and end, and that's it.
Yes.
But if you do it like a TV series, then you can go through the various adventures and challenges this
Yep.
person will have, male or female, whoever this
Yep.
lead character is going to be. And then will they
Here's,
have
here's a question for you.
any special
Do you prefer
things?
writing male or female characters?
Um, so I write both. Like in
Yep.
Eclipse Dragons, I have a female character with a disability
Mm-hmm.
because you rarely ever see female characters with a disability as a lead. And then she's not only just the lead character, she's not the strongest, she's
Yep.
not the fastest, she's not the smartest, but she has that ability to utilize the people around her, that leadership trait,
Yep.
to tap into people's inner strength to guide them to do things. She makes you want to be around. Like King Arthur, he's not the
Yep.
strongest, but he
Yep.
has all these people around him to make sure things are
That's it. You
safe
can
and
put the
secure.
right people in the right places at the right time.
Yes. So it's basic leadership, utilizing the strength around you to get the mission done. So the way I envision this guy now as we speak, and everyone is sharing some of the background of it. Say, as an example, as an intro.
Another world where it's like galactic hub for aliens, etc. Um, syndicates, crime organizations, whatever, etc. Kind of a dirty Blade Runner world. All the alien.
Okay, so
So in that case, there's scrap the entire idea that was said before of the 1930s.
no, we can
Remove
still
that
do it.
from.
We can still do it. This is how you do it.
If we're going into a completely different world and everything like that, a year is not going to hold any reference when we're looking at that. If we're looking at 1930s from that other dimension, it could be a portal brings us to Earth in a 1930s adventure for something.
Or they can start off in the 1930s. So
But
here's a
yeah,
crazy idea I'm thinking
yeah, yeah.
just out of curiosity. Let me know how crazy this is. Okay, he's standing outside the police station. It's the
Mm-hmm.
1930s. The cops are chasing somebody. The car drives by. The siren's going off. He got his fedora hat, his long coat. It's raining outside and it's cold. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a pack of cigarettes. Taps it on his hand, pulls out a cigarette, and begins to light it. As he starts lighting it, his captain calls him into the office. So now, instead of lighting the cigarette, he puts the cigarette back in the package, put it back in his pocket. With an attitude, he turns around, flaps his coat. Coming, Captain. Walks into the police station. He goes into the captain's office. The captain says, "Have a seat. We have a new thing for you." Captain, Every week you give me something new. What's so different about this one? Well, we found some technology and we need you to look at it with the team. What technology? There's no. What is a technology? Well, I want you to come onto a team, and this special team works with unusual activities. You always been complaining about something that's not right. You have an itch for something else. I think you got what it takes to join this team. Go talk to him and see what it's about. All right, Captain. Stands up, walks out the door. He goes to his desk. His phone rings. Investigator so and so. I need you to come to this address. Here it is. He hangs up his phone. He grabs his fedora hat. He goes back out into the cold. Gets into his car, drives to the location. He gets there, and it's just a warehouse. Now his nerves are itching, and he's like, what is going on? Is this a setup? He slowly walks into the building. He looks through the
What
window.
was his fedora? Hopefully it's red.
Not Carmen Sandiego. So he looks around the
Yay!
building. He checks the windows. He looks on the streets, looking different directions, and he doesn't see anybody else there.
Got the
He,
red fedora.
you got a red fedora. There you go. That's the detective right there. Bam. He got it made.
Got my
So
red
as
fedora.
he enters the building, he sees three people standing there, a man and two women. They dressed up in unusual clothes that he'd never seen before. Now it piques his interest. They talking to him and they bring him in to have a seat. Your captain told us to talk to you X, Y, and Z. He
That's it,
sits
Benny.
as he sits there in the chair. They talk to him. Wenchkin rocking the red fedora. I see you, Owl Bunny. So as he's sitting there getting the brief, they said, "You gonna be the new member of our team, but there's a lot more than just what you've been seeing daily." From there, it's almost like a Men in Black type thing. He's
I
used to
was
just,
thinking more along Warehouse 13.
ooh, that's a good one too. So that's where the introductory to the technologies and the different worlds, and so that's the build up to that, possibly. So
Okay, my take on sort of that thing there.
not Owl Bunny, you like it?
Instead of going ahead and being police officer and that dirty gumshoe, time of prohibition, gangs, everything like that, one shit job after another, in the road, rain, in the bad weather, up to the eyeballs in debt,
Mm,
will do anything for anyone. Gone ahead, hooked up with this job, should be an easy smuggling job. Usually he's working on the right side of the law. This time, utilizing his skills to go ahead and avoid the fuzz, avoid everyone else, get this through. Goes out to meet the smugglers and they're moving crates.
yeah.
Everything should be going to plan. Everything should be there and available easy. Nothing that he had gone ahead and research looked up. All his contacts, everything was clear. No one was any wiser to anything. No heat was to come down tonight. But everything goes pear-shaped.
All right, build a story up.
During,
I'm listening now.
yep,
So
yep,
build your story talking through it.
during, during this unknown gang, not seen in the area before, not heard of, they're pushing. They want these. The smugglers, instead of cutting and running like they generally do with anything, abandon that. They're not getting caught. There is always someone, another job to go ahead and do. We lost this one. Not this time. They're sticking around. It's being fought. He can't leave. He is bound to them. If they're staying and fighting, so's he. Crate goes ahead and gets broken open. That's where we go ahead, have portal device in there. He's through.
Mm.
Now is in somewhere else.
From there, okay. You want me to build off of that,
Go for it.
or go to a different scenario? Well, instead of let's ask the audience. Good brainstorming. Yes, it was. Oh, keep going.
Yeah.
Okay. So where you want us to keep going from? The crate, opening the crate, or where? You guys are helping us build a storyline. Focus on the crate.
Focus on the crate.
Okay. You want to start or you want me to start, Winchkin?
And you take it over from here.
Okay, so repeat your last part of
Uh,
him.
we're in the fighting. Crate got hit. Crate opened up. Device was there, which is a portal. He's thrown against it. It activates when he touches it. It wasn't active prior. It was an inert thing. But when he fell across it, it activates. He disappears into it. Your story.
Okay. So after he falls on it,
Hey, Ilaria.
Alaria's here. Welcome, welcome. I haven't seen that girl in a while. So as he falls onto the crate and the portal opens with this device, he jumps off it immediately as a defense. Like, what's going on? As soon as he jumps off it, the portal closes. In his head, he's like, how is this possible? What was that thing? He goes back and grabs the device. As he grabs the device, it opens up again. Coming to find out, this device can strap onto his arm like a watch. So as he puts it onto his arm, it straps on, and the portal can open the whole time. He looks around, he checks it out, and he sees a button on the side. As the button on the side, he touches it, and then it turns off the portal. So now he's trying to comprehend what is this portal, what is this device, and the crate was actually supposed to go to somebody else, but somehow he ran across it, and now it opens up for him. But when other people touch it, it doesn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's trying to figure out why. Why is he the one that's able to trigger it? And also, what is it?
What if the device exploded, creating a temporal vortex that he's sucked into to another place? No way back.
Bam. So, so it's somehow unique to him. Yes, it is. So as he goes through this portal and he's looking
I
around,
was going
he's
to
in a
say,
whole new realm.
let me stop you there for a sec, Bolts.
Go for it.
Problem with um, go ahead, suck them through, no way back. You've now got a very limit. You've got a hard limit in a story. Your potential for growth and exploration and development has now gone ahead and hit a brick wall because you have shut off what they go ahead and have potentials. Um, so, what if this is from a place? What if this?
What if this is the place where the device is from? So the device could be from the
Yeah,
future or alternate universe somewhere.
but you still need to go ahead and you've started a story in one place. It's always good to have a home base
Yeah.
you can come back to. You've got to be a way to explore the future or explore where it's from, another planet, another whole existence. But there is a way back. Otherwise, you've just got someone who is there with lots.
Wow, that was a little loud.
Oh, shit, we're in the middle of the stream, Relic.
Oh, my bad. I'm so sorry.
Sorry,
Enjoy.
bro.
Everybody have an amazing
I
freaking
was
stream. And you guys take care. Have a great one.
Take care, mate. We'll speak later.
I forgot who's in the
We're in the general room. Yep.
yeah.
Oops.
This is how exciting we were this morning. We were just sitting around, just sharing Happy Easter to talking about our
Yeah.
books, and then it's like when you have two people with such great ideas, we feed off each other so well that we can create things and stuff. So we wanted to share with you guys something different because we'd never streamed on writers before, and we do our own way of writing and stuff. So this is a good collabo, and in the future we're
And
gonna write a book together. I'm already calling
yeah.
it right
And
now.
the other bonus, Teflon, if you don't destroy it, it could be a case, very well a case of just because it has gone ahead and taken, opened a portal to take him to one place one time, there's no guarantee it'll go ahead and pick him up to take him to another, that same place again.
Ooh, I like that.
Without knowing how to use the portal, how to go ahead and set and navigate with it, when you don't understand the actual scope
So he have
of,
to calibrate it to go to specific areas.
yeah, but if you don't actually, if you're thinking in the thing of navigation is around the world, that's all I can think of and that's all I know here. You don't go ahead and start thinking of a relic. You don't start thinking of this is going to take me to Mars,
Well, in
or this is going to
1930s, they don't
take
know
me.
about all them other planets like that.
That's right. You don't know about it, so
So they're
it
limited to the stuff we know
it gets
now.
put on. It gets activated for some strange reason because this guy should not have been able to go ahead and activate it. Should not have responded to him in any way, shape, or form, but it has.
So that's
Portal's
where
open,
his elf could come in.
taken through the portal, trapped there, but has no way. You can go ahead and push that button. It's not working.
Maybe it runs
So
off
now
his energy or something.
energy there, not need to go ahead and his way of thinking, and that because he doesn't know where he is, he's appeared on Mars, doesn't know he's on Mars. So the idea of finding and thinking about coming back to Earth, that's wrong because Earth doesn't exist here. But something triggered until he goes ahead and can start thinking in astro sort of navigational manner. And instead of thinking on a sole planet, start thinking sort of galaxy or planes. Because if you have different planes of existence, so he's gone ahead and moved up or down planes or wherever there with this here until that knowledge has been gained, then it's not going to go ahead and function.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So now we've got a scenario where been identified, been here, something strange has happened. It's put this on, opened a portal, gone through it, now trapped on a different world, but he's not, it hasn't been a final sort of thing. Sort of, it's still functioning. He just doesn't know how to use it.
Gotcha,
There,
gotcha.
he's got
Thank
to
you for
go
the follow.
ahead.
Appreciate that.
He's got to go ahead and find a way to find people, assimilate with people, because hey, are they going to be aggressive as soon as he turns up?
So how can
Are they
we
going to welcome him?
how can we say, okay, if he say he pulls up on Mars, he goes through the portal and he's on Mars. Say as an example, he's on Mars. But Mars is not what we perceive it to be. Mars looks just
Exactly
like
right.
his Earth and stuff.
Yep.
Everything looks the same.
Mars is sort of towering sort of buildings and stuff like that, sort of like the old Blade Runner
Yeah.
scenario that were given there.
So the people look
Spacecraft.
different. The
Yep.
vehicles, the technology, everything looks different. So now he knows he's not where he's
He's
supposed to
not
be.
not in Kansas anymore, Toto.
Yeah, yes. So he's seeing something different now. So now he's curious and scared at the same time.
Yep.
So that's where his
But he's
detective
and this
mindset
is where that
kicks in.
sort of gumshoe sort of thing. He's driven by where the hell am I? What am I doing?
Yep.
Need to go ahead and get in. Recently, I saw an article that said to be stuck in a black hole dimension as black holes eat matter and expand until they're out of matter. To eat our universe is expanding like a black hole would. Much neon.
So what
So
if he goes back? Not goes back. So here in the 1930s, he shows up on Mars, and it's like the 1980s. You see people with the neon clothes and the glasses and
big
everything.
hair.
That would be crazy.
Okay, so like, right, turn up there. They'll recognise him as someone from Earth.
Oh, Total
Eyes of
Recall.
fire, everything like that. Earth's been watched. So that to them, he is not an unknown quantity.
So they recognize.
Through his attire and his appearance, they recognise Earth.
Mm,
They've been there. They go back and forth. People on Earth had no idea. They're not aware of it. What is
gotcha.
startling and where the questions are arising is how did he get here? Why is he wearing a portal device on his wrist?
What if he's the only one that had that? Because remember, he was doing crooked stuff. What if
Yeah. Well,
somebody from the
if
1930s already been communicating with somebody else, and they're supposed to give him that, say, a vortex watch or something?
I was figuring on a case of this stuff works for this race of Martians.
Ooh, that's a good one.
The smugglers,
Well, he's supposed to be an elf, right?
yep,
Well,
but
half
they can
elf.
get half elf,
Hmm.
and that's predominantly what's on these Martians and everything like that. They're elves and dwarves and gnomes and dragons and stuff like that. There, just because it's in a Blade Runner scenario, sort of it's a very Shadowrun
Gotcha.
uh, type deal. But you've got one illicit gang from there is smuggling Martian technology to Earth to utilize that because Earthlings aren't aware of it. So they can get in and out undetected. Portals let them go ahead and move around undetected.
What do you mean never trust a dragon? What?
The people that came down is another Martian gang. It might not have been a Martian gang. It may have been a Martian time police.
Ah,
And they were just coming to stop this. But the fact that a human,
so for
touched
those
this
who
thing,
just, let me stop
it
real quick.
activated, it worked, it should never have done that. And now he's there. So there's questions.
So for those that's just chiming in now, the topic is science fiction and fantasy combined with the 1930s private eye type thing. So we didn't come up with the topic, you guys did as viewers, and we're creating something for it. So we're
He's Arnold
talking through the
Schwarzenegger ham
process.
and egg burger.
So I've never written a science fiction fantasy mixed with a 1930s thing, but just us talking about it here and brainstorming with you guys, it's actually sounding like a damn movie. Not even a book anymore. It's like a movie that could come out and have series or something. So,
And don't forget the red fedora. That's it.
yeah, the red fedora.
Red fedoras are all the rage on Mars, unlike Earth, apparently.
So, we already have the main character. Um, we don't have any supporting characters yet. Because who is he going to
Don't
tell
have any
about
supporting
this?
characters yet, but this is where, okay, with that, they could go ahead and turn him in to this sort of time police.
Yes, I agree. Reading it would be much better. I love reading it. So
Yeah, they turn him into the time police.
so he gets recruited as the time police then.
Well, you don't recruit him straight away. There's a lot of questions that need answering, and he is going to have a hell of a lot to learn.
Obsessed with steak. Oh my Lord of Jesus. Oh, that's a good one.
So he'll need to go ahead and do that. During the testing, because first they're going to need to interrogate him. They're going to need to go ahead and find out.
And they bribe him with steak.
That portal device doesn't come off now. It's bound to him.
Gotcha. So what if he cannot take it off, even if he wanted to?
That's what I'm talking about. He can't take it off. It doesn't come off. It has been bound to him. So even during the interrogation, these guys are used to going ahead and they know what this thing is, but they take them off and on, and you don't wear one of them. Why is it on you? Why can't it be removed? None of their people can go ahead and do it. What are you doing here? How did you use this thing? He is in an absolute shambles. He is sort of lived a life in an alcohol and smoke fueled haze for the last sort of decade while going ahead and doing this. He's sobering up real quick, and reality has become fucking strange. Is he hallucinating this? Is he going ahead and actually experiencing this? If he is experiencing this, holy fuck. This is sort of, you go crazy thinking about this sort of stuff. This is not right. So he's got to go ahead, comes to terms with what's going on. There. Once they go ahead and establish in themselves that he is not a threat, he is not there, they look further into him. That's where, through their testing, they'll find you're a half-elf. There's more questions now, because how are you a half-elf? Elves are here. Obviously.
So we need to build on his background.
And this is what we can develop now.
Mm-hmm.
Because before, he was just the bum. He was alcoholic, he was this, he was that. He didn't fit in, but he was always good at sort of finding out the truth of the matter eventually.
Gotcha.
So here we can go ahead and find that sort of someone inside of these people on a trip down there decide to go ahead and get jiggy with fucking someone down there.
One of them cold cases.
Yep. And hey, there we go. The potential father that went ahead and got jiggy there might not have been the only not expressly permitted action that was going on. May have been one of them at one stage, but then went ahead and left to go ahead and pursue more nefarious ventures.
Interesting.
Take his whole arm off at the shoulder. I will reattach it later. So,
pulling up all these other things here.
Hey, Brightwing, thank you very much for that follow. Welcome. How you doing? So yeah, we'll go ahead and have that. Now, instead of going ahead and utilizing magics and stuff like that, we could have psionics. Have that as an ability that is rarer in that. that could explain the bond of these pull device. They don't know how they were exactly made and everything like that, but there's enough of them. So they've never had to go ahead and think about this.
Okay, so
So not
now
only do you help,
introduce a
not
new
only do you
character.
help, pardon?
Introduce a new character in that scenario that comes into the room, and
Yep.
it's a woman,
Yes.
and she knows some of his history because she's dealt with situations like that, but his is so unique that she wants to get involved to find out more because she'd never noticed the device being attached to anybody like that before. She's seen
Mm-hmm.
people come through, so she knows the process of that, but
Yep.
now it sparks an interest of this new group of investigators of
Well,
this
and that's the thing.
being
Have
has the
have the
attachment.
woman there as a chief investigator, researcher,
Bam,
archivist
there it is. Yep.
type deal there. So that gives a broad knowledge base of this sort of stuff, but also gives access now to looking back into archives and sort of having the technology to research sort of where's your gene structure? Where are you going from? What are you bound up with? So we've got that there. He's the
I like
brawn. She's the brains.
it.
But we'll go ahead and have him also have, like as I said, psychic powers there, which unaware of.
And that could
Okay.
be her attachment to it because
Yep.
he sent out some wave that he didn't know he was doing
Yep.
and it pinged her on it. So now the process of her trying to get to know what he's
Or the
about
fact that he's never had it before, and it was when his appearance on Mars that went
triggered it.
ahead and released it.
Yes.
That was the trigger to go ahead and activate it.
So that's building up towards the climax of this story then. So far we've gotten probably about 4 chapters, 4 to 5 chapters in
We
out
use
of
the lady's
25.
information gathering resource. Well, initially, but she'll also go ahead and have her own motivations as well.
Yes.
So where he can go ahead and gain from her, she's also going to have her own motivations for wanting to be near him.
And then that could be another story in itself right there. Her story.
Yeah. And that's where you could go ahead and form a partnership with them.
Yes, they're using each other. So, you know, you can have it as potential lovers. It could be siblings. They might be related somewhere down the road because of her side of the family went down there on a mission and
Exactly
like
right.
Wenchkin was saying, had his little rendezvous and had a kid there.
Mm-hmm.
So, she could be investigating her father's disappearance because he did something he wasn't supposed to.
See,
And,
there you go.
the
She,
1930s is curtains, baby,
in
curtains.
the and this is where you can go ahead and throw her in. She could be an outcast inside of these guys. She's never done anything wrong, but Dad did.
Yes.
He was in the unit. He did go ahead and have access to do a lot of things, but he disappeared and was doing that. Now known to be going ahead, last seen bouncing around Earth, running gangs. No longer answering to these guys.
Yeah,
That
that's good.
so she's still here. She's trying to do what she does. Instead of being a field agent allowed to go out and do it, she's always in the archive. She's researching. She's that there. She has all the access and all the knowledge and that because she's damn good at what she does. But no one wants to work with her because the old man's disgraced. Don't want to be tainted by her or the knowledge of tainted by who her parents were, her father was.
Yes, you can write a side story for her as well. So
Yeah.
the thing is that I've I wouldn't say recently have learned, but as I start writing more books and stories
Thanks, Doug.
and stuff, you can see where, like you said, the side stories, you can build on those. So you can have your main story going,
Yeah.
and then like towards I would say right before mid chapter, so before chapter 12. So if you're doing 24 to 25 chapters in a book, say about chapter 9 to 12, you can write about her side story to build up towards the climax of the book. What is the big conflict or what is the big challenge that they're going to meet? So from chapter 9 to 12, leading into 12, say 9 to 11, leading to 12, you can
Yep.
have where she's trying to prove her innocence of her dad, or her dad was in the business, he disappeared, and she's trying to find out what happened to him. So she could be working on a cold case of his, and somehow it blends over to this one. So now it's like, why is her cold case of her dad matching his case now that's new coming in? And then as it gets into 12, well, get into say 11, 11 shows where the dad's last mission was going to Earth. So
Hmm.
Earth was not called Earth to them, say the third planet or whatever name it decides.
So
So he goes onto this mission, and he's the only one that didn't come back. He went with his team, and an incident happened on that case, and all of a sudden the dad disappears, and now he's say a bandit, or he got killed on the mission, or whatever the case is. But it's
better
like a
than
dead
that,
stop for her, and she's
or
trying to figure out what happened. So that's
better
one
than that,
scenario.
the cases that she has access to on Mars. Look into them, they go nowhere. They're always dead ends.
Ooh, okay.
Put lots of work into it, nothing comes up. It is like it's just been erased. Sort of here, nothing. These were Dad's last cases, everything like that. He was pulled off these because getting nowhere. Sent to Earth, he was betrayed.
So yes, it's
Team
still in the 1930s.
he
Teflon
went
writing.
with, they tried to end him.
So
He's had to go ahead and take. Team came back. They went ahead and told everyone he's bad.
yeah,
He's
they
gone
try
ahead
to
and done bad.
discredit him and everything.
That's right. And no one has gone ahead and said otherwise. That is the story that went out. That is what is going through. She was allowed to stay in. The
It's a
real
dual
threat, the real,
timeline too. So
this is where we've now got to a point where we have now got an antagonist.
bam, that's what I was waiting on.
We've now got an antagonist. We've gone all this way through. Things are flying. We've now got an antagonist is actually someone inside of this time police.
And that's chapter 12, the middle of your book, your climax, the
Yep.
conflict right there. So
Yep.
right now, so far we've been talking about
Having
building up the
betrayed
main
him.
character,
Yep.
his challenges of background a little bit, and then 9 through 11 we get into a whole new world, and he's meeting somebody with similar challenges on her side,
No,
but she
no, not
follows the law.
considered a joke, Relic. Not considered a joke. They know what she's capable of. They respect her for her brains and her ability, her deductive reasonings, and all that. The research is amazing. Her ability to be able to find anything in archives is amazing. She is a natural at that. So they keep her around. They've made sure to go ahead and purge any information of themselves. The only way that she could go ahead and put something back on them was if someone from Earth with any knowledge of anything that was going on there, i.e. these cold cases that he was looking into and doing and had been looking through, was to be able to come up and give her the other half of what was going on. Something that would go ahead and we don't know what, but this is what we were presented with.
Yes.
And
So Al
when
Bunny asked the question there, do you like the idea of leaving the antagonist as a mystery for most of the book and only really fully revealed towards the end. Yes,
Yes.
so that's why she gets all the dead ends because she don't know who the antagonist is, but they working as a group to stop her every time she gets close.
And the thing is, the antagonist may not be inside the time police. It may go ahead
Exactly.
and be political people, and the politicians are going ahead and putting the power, like the kibosh, onto them and saying this or that. It may be corporations. It may be sort of someone outside of them,
Yep.
that corporation that goes ahead and looks after all of their sort of technology.
So this is getting good. This is actually, I wish, well, we can look at the plot of this, but this could be a good book to write, to be
Mm.
honest. Like, not the exact same thing we're talking about, but along this lines of,
Oh no, they don't care if they've not gone ahead and raised any suspicions. They let her look into her dad's cases. They know that they've gone ahead and cleaned those cases. There is
yep,
nothing on Mars that she can find that will go ahead and point to the person doing this and what's happened. So, but all of a sudden we got someone from Earth that has the ability, because they knew about, they were looking into other cases on Earth. And when these pairs start talking, and he's sort of, well, maybe this explains the strangeness I'm seeing here, and trying to figure out back there. He's going through trying to figure out this, but oh yeah, you see someone using some bloody laser, and sort of, well, that
so,
would go ahead and leave what we were trying to look into, explain how that is, but what's that doing on Earth?
yep. So as for
And
Teflon's
when he
question,
starts doing that, she starts listening, and sort of, these here are second parts to where this ends dead. There's other stuff going on Earth.
what if you have a
And
lost technology?
well, see, that's what it could go ahead and
Because his
be.
could be different from the rest of theirs. That's why it's attached to him. It's lost technology, and that would breed into what Teflon was asking if there's orcs and such on Mars.
Mm.
Because if it's a lost technology, like a rare thing, then that would tap into who is his bloodline from, like where they come from.
Well, go ahead and, instead of being a lost technology, have the dad be a lost race.
Oh shit.
So the technology is all for good and fine, but dad's race was the original creators. That's why it
And
bound.
she doesn't even know it yet.
She doesn't know it because she's not allowed off planet. So she's never gone ahead and been given a teleporter, a portal device.
Oh,
So they've
that's
never
good.
seen this happen.
That's good.
Dad is fully aware. He knows how to go ahead and remove it. Even though it's bound to him, he knows how to remove it.
So that's why she's interested in him because unlike her dad, well, just like her dad, he's the only one that had that attachment. That's the only time
Well,
she's ever seen it. Her dad and now this person.
yeah, well, Dad would go ahead and wear his, but Dad could take his off.
No, but I'm saying like if the dad um didn't know how to use it before, he was the only one that had it attached to him, but as time
Yeah,
progresses, he learns how to take it off.
yeah,
And that's why he started going to different planets. And that's where
yeah.
the
But
master
that's
child
why
could have came
I'm
from.
sitting there saying, like, the portal devices are common.
Yeah.
They've got lots of them. They go ahead and with these time police or whatever they're going to be, they go ahead and they wear them, but they go on and off, and there's no attachment with them or anything like that. These guys, but have Dad's,
You see what
the
it
secret
rants?
race, where they were the original manufacturers of this.
Okay.
They can get more out of these portal devices than these other ones ever considered to be possible,
Gotcha.
or even know is possible.
So what if here's a scenario to add in, if possible. what if they start off all the same, looking the same, right? These devices.
Yep.
But as you put them on, it changes its shape and stuff to that person. So what if she sees that device on him that looks just like her dad's? And they're the only two that had that device that looked like that. That would create some kind of connection between them. So if everybody else had the watch, the device, and it's just looking like a regular watch, but his is different. So that's where you can build around the watch as well to expand the significance of this device for that part.
Instead of change, as I said, different function.
Not functions, but it looks, the
Yeah, yeah, no,
device
no, no. What I'm thinking
features.
is it can do different function to this race that goes ahead and does it because
Ah,
it's
okay.
bound to them. Now, when she was really young, she went ahead and saw dad do this, but when questioned, it was sort of, no, you didn't see that. You're mistaken.
Oh, because she was so young.
Never seen it
Okay,
again. But then, because this guy has no idea what happens, he somehow triggers this same function to happen.
gotcha.
Say, um, not only is it now a portal device, but it can go ahead and affect gravity in a four-dimensional state. So he can reach across and it acts like a just force pull. You just sort of drag across and something appears in his hand. Because he changes gravity, flips it 90 degrees, and then he's the center of gravity. Boom. The object is now in his hand.
Yeah.
And yeah, while they're there, he reaches to go and do something and sucks it into his hand and holds it. And sort of, she saw this late at night when dad was in his workshop. He just went ahead and was getting something. When she questioned him on it, it was sort of, no, you're mistaken. You're tired. Go back to bed. And she was only a young girl at that.
So she's probably
Never
around
seen it.
5 years old at that time. Always
Yep.
going to the dad's
And
office,
yep.
working late at
Then
night.
all of a sudden, he's gone ahead and done the same thing. But nobody else has ever gone ahead and done that. And even if, when she's asked other people, oh, could these go ahead and be used to do that? They just laugh at her and go, no, they're a portal device. It's a single use item. You go ahead, we create a portal to where we need to go. We go that way. There we are. It's done. And then we need to come
Okay,
back. It's
we got
done
that
there.
part built out now.
Yep.
We're on chapter 13. So now we know that she's going to get ball blockers because of this
They
case.
are.
Um, she know the guy's from another world, and now it's like, okay, are they going to release him, or are they going to keep him at the station there? So that's the next challenge of, okay, what do we do with this person now that he might have come into that world illegally? They may have laws on stuff like that. So, or the other thing
They're
could
going to
be
keep him there.
that's a
They're going to keep him
missing
there, keep them together.
device.
Again, because of the antagonist, keep watch over both siblings.
Okay.
If it keeps them inside of this area, then there they are. Now, as far as they're aware, he doesn't know how to use this at all. It's not responding. Everything that they try and tell him to go ahead and do for that thing, it doesn't work. So
Gotcha.
even though it's stuck to him, the antagonist is pretty sure that it's either broken or he is incapable of using it. It was a freak accident that had happened the first time. But hey, he's stuck there. So we will keep these two together. They're unaware that they're siblings, but we can go ahead and do that and keep an eye on them. There's no.
So
There
the
is nothing
antagonists
they
know
can
that they
do.
siblings then.
Yes.
Okay. So, okay, if that's the case then the antagonist, say she get an order because she doesn't know who the antagonist is. So
Yep.
she gets an order from her boss saying, you need to keep an eye on him while he's here until they figure out how to get this device off him. Because,
Take him under your wing and train him.
yes, so while she's watching him, the antagonist group is trying to figure out how can they get their devices back. Because they're supposed to have it delivered to the people on Earth in the 1930s. Because remember, we're still in the 1930s in his mind. and he doesn't know what year it is where he's at. So it hasn't come to that because he's been in that station the whole time for 12 chapters, going in 13. So as he's leaving that area and goes back to, say, her apartment, or they get him a place to stay to keep an eye on him, then they start having those conversations.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to know more about his background and how
Well,
long
the
has he
antagonist
known.
definitely knows the father,
Yeah.
and what I was thinking is the smugglers that he was going ahead and working with
Hmm.
was actually the dad's people that he'd put together. Since he got betrayed, he went ahead and start putting his own people. He's doing everything he can to survive down there. Though people that
Mm.
the other gang that they were attacked by were more agents from the antagonist sent in to go ahead and do this. We have road Martians operating without sanction on Earth. They're stealing our artifacts and trafficking them there. Stop it. Retrieve the artifacts, kill all of them.
So, okay,
This is where we can do it outside of the thing. As far as this whole time police people, they're just being used. They're a pawn again inside of everything that's going on.
how we tied them back to the 1930s. So the book started off in the 1930s, and then he got sucked into a portal, and now he's in this new scene. So
Mm-hmm.
now we have to tie back the 1930s to it. One way could be the antagonist group goes back into the portal to go back to the 1930s. Let the mobs know that, hey, whatever that's in that crate is now taken by this one cop, and he's here on our side. And they don't know how to get him back to it because he doesn't know how to work his device. So now, in time, some of the people in the mobs, they are traveling up to his timeline where he's at right now to try to take him out because they can't do it on their side yet because they have this new cop working with him and they know they are siblings. So they don't know how to cover those tracks yet. So they want to see if those guys can come up and do it. Now, while they're in the apartment, they get a knock on the door, and it's some of those people from the 1930s looking for him, looking for this guy. So they knock on the door, and they try to act like, say, delivery guys or something, and they deliver some stuff to her. And as she opens the door, they see in the back it's him. They see him sitting at the table with his head down, and they recognize him by his clothes and stuff. So they deliver the stuff and they leave. So now they confirm that he has now traveled out of the 1930s into that realm. So now they have the mobs, everybody that's back in their home base in the 1930s on Earth, is preparing to try to retrieve him. So now he has both sides trying to kill him. So they have an antagonist back at home and the antagonist there. So now he has to battle the ones that's there right now, and they're influencing those guys in the 1930s. So now we have to build a
Well, the
story on
antagonist is the same
why were
person.
they traveling? I mean, not traveling. Why were they sending these devices to the 1930s? We have to
Yeah, the
explain that
antagonist is the
portion
same
now.
person. The antagonist is the same person.
So if it's the same person, I wouldn't say a person. I would say the same group.
Because the antagonist is going ahead and manipulating the time police.
Yeah.
They're the ones that set up the father, betrayed him with other, the dirty time police people
But that's
there.
her side, not his.
Yeah, but it's his dad
But he doesn't
as
know
well.
that though.
No, but the thing is, he was working with them and that there. But these time police, they know he's back there.
So does he know his dad?
No,
Okay. Because remember, if he's in her apartment, he's gonna see pictures on the walls and different stuff.
yeah,
But he
yeah,
never, okay, so he never knew his dad, so he can't
no,
identify the pictures of who his dad is.
that's it.
Okay, got it.
And it'll turn out he was fighting beside his dad in that
Oh
smuggling
shit.
operation.
You are cold,
and he has
man. You are cold.
no idea.
You are cold.
Dad is aware of who he was. He can sense him for what he was.
That's cold as shit, man. Look at that night
Oh
owl
yeah,
Benny. That's cold, man.
yeah,
So,
oh yeah.
so you
Yep,
working with your pops and don't even know it.
yep,
Jeez.
yep. And
Yes, that is a good
because
twist, Teflon. That is a good
Dad,
damn twist.
but this is why Dad's been using him, because he has no idea who he is. He believes that they have no idea. The dirty time police have no idea that he is actually his son. So
Mm.
he's going ahead and utilizing him on Earth to move these things around, do these jobs, do this, do
He
that.
said, "I hate the dad now." You see
No,
how we build
no,
in that
don't don't hate the
relationship?
dad, because while it seems cold, Dad is going ahead and keeping tabs on the son. Dad is being able to, while I'm using him, I'm still protecting him.
So
I
is the
keep him
dad
close
dead,
to me doing this.
or is he
These
just
guys
gone out the
come,
picture for now?
yeah. If these guys come down and decide to target my son to get at me, I know where he is.
So what if the
I
dad sent those guys to deliver stuff to confirm he's still alive?
no. See, the dad was smuggling dad's been smuggling this stuff. We'll go ahead
Okay.
and find out that sort of these cold events on Earth is Dad going ahead and securing further evidence of misdeeds of this higher people, and they can see what he's going ahead and putting together. They don't know exactly what he's got, but they know that he's putting together the case that will go ahead and expose and bring them undone. So they're trying to, that's why he was betrayed from that originally, and it's why they keep on going ahead and bringing him down. But he was already high up. He knows where their caches are, their technology caches, and he's stealing that. He's making use of their technology to get him in and out and around. Daughter
Okay.
has never gone ahead and been told that Dad's alive, just that went ahead and betrayed them all, went rogue, and is a bad person.
Okay, now we're rolling into chapter 20 of 24. So
Yep.
now we're going down to the
Yep.
closure of the book to close this part
Mm-hmm.
of the book. So now we know that he's been working with his dad, didn't know it. His
Yep.
dad is running the stuff on Earth, on
Yep.
Mars or whatever planet that she's on.
Yep.
In her mind and with them, he's a rogue and disappeared, and they don't know where he's at.
Okay. This is where we go ahead, and for this one here, we spend those last 4 chapters tying it off the loose ends and setting up the crescendo that's going to carry over to the next one, that you need to go ahead and read the next one to keep this story going.
Yes.
The powers that be are now becoming uncomfortable that these pair are spending so much time together. They aren't sure about what they're sure of. They're not sure he can't use the device.
So what if she's the only one that knows he has telekinesis?
No, that's the thing. She is the only one, but they're not sure what he can do. They're spending a lot of time together. These pair have now become almost inseparable.
Night Owl Bunny. Man, we can't take him nowhere. He said,
Yeah,
we
that's
need a
actually a
big
lizard.
twist. The dad is an actual lizard. The lizard people.
Yeah, yeah, but this is where you want someone to turn up at the apartment and everything like that. She'll go ahead and have that knock at the apartment. Opens the door, there's nothing there. There's a note. You're not safe here anymore. Meet me here.
Mm.
Both of them don't understand what, because she's never been targeted by these things. She doesn't know the existence of these dirty time cops. He doesn't know the existence of dirty time cops or the father for who he is. He just heard her talk about it. And she doesn't talk about it all that much because it's a shame that she's gone ahead and had to carry and work with all the like. But they move out just as the dirty ones come in and pop her apartment, and they're, oh fuck, we could have been in there.
Mm.
Go out, they find more of their species.
So they leave the apartment and go where?
Another place inside of the city.
Oh,
They'll
okay.
go ahead, yep, meet this person. But this person,
So it's like a cafe then. So
yeah,
say they meet up
a
at a cafe,
cafe, a
but it's a
bar,
little
bloody,
hole in the wall cafe somewhere.
yeah, go ahead, meet there. And it's another of this secret elf race that Dad was, that she is, but is unaware of, and that he is.
Got it. Okay.
And
So
they go ahead and we need to get you out of here. There is a lot you need to learn. And as they're out and going, that's where we can go ahead and start to bring a chase.
say they're getting chased to the cafe, right? And
No, don't go ahead. Don't chase to the cafe. You got to go ahead. They've hit the blown up the apartment.
okay.
Figured we've got them. These guys were out, but they're aware. They saw. Holy shit, we could have been in there. They get down there. When the fires get put out and everything like that, there was nobody in the apartment. Now the chase goes ahead, and we need to find these pair. Where are they?
So
So
now
that
like
goes
the
ahead and does the
antagonist
chase.
group is looking for them.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's when they're making their move. They've blown the apartment to try and get rid of them. Now they're moving to find out where they are. They're using all their resources to go and do that. These guys are in the bloody cafe.
You got to close
Met
the book at the
person.
cafe. I have an idea, but I want you to go.
Yep, go for it. Go.
Okay. So they leave the scene, right? Smoke and fires. They see people looking for them. They got their little coat on and everything else. And they make it to the cafe. They get to
Yep.
the cafe and they sit down at the bar. They order a coffee. So while they're sitting
Mm-hmm.
there with a coffee, the bartender comes and puts a coffee on top of a napkin. As they're looking down at their coffee to stir it, they see writing on the napkin. They remove the napkin from under the coffee, they open it up, and it tells them to go to the back of the cafe to sit at a certain table. So they go sit at the table, and as they sitting there talking, confused about what's going on and why all this stuff is happening, a group of people comes and locks the cafe door. All
Yep.
of a sudden they get nervous and they stand up real quick, looking for their weapon to defend themselves. As soon as they look, a guy come walking in. He walks in from the back of the cafe in the back room and he says, "Relax, have a seat." As soon as they sit down cautiously, he used telekinesis to talk to them. So now they're like, "Wait a minute, I thought we were the only ones." He sits at the table and he's like, "How you guys doing? I'm Uncle So and so."
Boom.
And boom, the story ends
Yep.
right there.
Yep.
They have an uncle that didn't even know was out
Yep.
there. So
Yep.
now That's the
Yeah.
end of the book. They meet a family
I'm
member.
Uncle so and so. It's good to see my niece and nephew together.
Oh shit. That's a good twist. See, somebody was talking about a twist earlier. That's the twist right there. So now you close the book. They now figured out. Well, not figured out. They now know that they're related, and
Yep.
now they have an uncle. So now they have a new scene. People chasing against them. Somebody want to kill them. They have an uncle they never heard of, and now they find out that they're related.
Yep.
Woo! That's a good goddamn book, boy. I tell you what.
And it leaves it open, and people you wanting more for the
Yes.
next one, and you've already gone ahead and got an established antagonist.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know who it is still, but you know there is someone there. You don't know why either, but
Yep.
they're
So
willing to
it's still
kill.
unknown. All the variables are unknown.
Yes,
Why did
they're,
he come to
they're
this
willing to
world?
kill for it.
Why
He
is
has now gone
people
ahead and
trying to
found
kill
out
him?
that, hey, that's my dad.
Yep.
That can go ahead and be in the next book a jolt of realization that that person I saw in a photo did vaguely resemble one of the guys that I've been working for. Now that I think about it,
Or he didn't see the pictures yet. The next good book could show the pictures.
yep,
Because remember, he was sitting at the table trying to figure out life,
yep,
and then they get the warning,
yep.
and the only thing she has left is a picture in her wallet or something of the dad.
Yep. Or when Uncle takes them back, he has family pictures up there. It's a case of who's this? She's that's my dad.
So instead of
That's
saying
our dad.
nieces and nephew, he just says, "Call me Uncle so and so."
Yeah, but it's sort of it's nice to see my niece and nephew together. It's sort of okay, sort of that sort of have them both look at sort of
Yeah,
at
that'd
each
be
other there. Sort of,
mind-boggling, man. You find out all this
yeah,
crap.
and sort of as he comes in, you see a
Oh, check
picture.
it out.
Who's
Since
this?
Not Our Bunny is talking about she finds the picture somehow. So say they walk into the cafe, right?
Hmm.
And while they sitting there at the table having their coffee, before the people lock the door and everything else, they
Yeah,
scan in
there's
the
a picture on the
room
wall.
and they see the picture on the wall. Yes, because you remember
Yeah,
back in the 30s,
and,
they
and,
had
and
the
he sits
pictures on
there
the
and goes,
wall of certain people and stuff
sort
like
of
that.
points the thing and says, "Who's this?"
Yeah. So
And
that
sort
can
of
build up the
that was
last
my
chapter
dad,
of asking those questions. And
and
then all of a
sort of
sudden the uncle walks
that's
in.
who I was working for
Yep.
on Earth.
Oh man.
And
There it
then
is,
Uncle
stream.
appears.
There it is, stream. This whole stream right here, you guys created the scenario, you created the characters, the timelines, everything. So this is a full session of storytelling. You know, this is what we talk about story time. So people that want to write books or interested in those type of things, this is how you brainstorm with other people and stuff to build that book. You know, so we just created a whole book right here in this time frame of just spur of the moment stuff. So imagine if we really start focusing more about it and building these things. And thank you for you guys that's giving us all the information on how to build it. You know, we just set the structure and you guys gave us the info to run with it. So this is a full process of book writing right here at the beginning stage, because this part is just how you want to tell your story. And after you have this one right here, Honey Bee, what's going on, girl? Honey Bee as well is also writing a book. She better be done
Oh,
with her
very
book by now. You know, her book better be good. But
nice.
yes, this is how you really tell the story. And once you have the story told, you have to go back and do the editing and everything else. But this wasn't off of any third-party software, anything else. This is just us talking with you all, building the whole thing.
Yep.
Yes, the small details, Benny, that's correct. The small details is what changes the story so much and draws in, you know, the viewer or the person that's reading it. Um, we're coming close to the end of the stream here because it's real late in Australia where Wenchkin is at. I appreciate him staying
And
up
Benny,
extra late to do some vibing with me on this. And it pushes us to really think and create. And that's what we don't have these days. We don't have people really creating, you know, good storytelling. And this is, you see it natural right here. And that's what we're about, you know. Me as a
and
book
it's something we're going to
publisher,
be doing regularly.
yes, we're going to try to do this every Saturday is is the goal because of the scheduling and stuff that I have for work and everything else. And also I want to help you guys look at building your own story because the best way to tell a story is your own way. You have your way of telling the story. And I don't know if you'll run across many people that can go off the limb like this and create a book. Because we went through 24 chapters in this stream right here on building a story. So if you have a solid book, roughly it's about 24 chapters of really getting into the details, into the thick of it, you know. Because if you're just writing for chapters, that's it, you're not really going to have a good book. But if you set yourself saying 24 chapters, by chapter 12 is the breaking point. This is the climax. This is where things going to happen. Then you know how to build up towards that. And then the second half is breaking it down. And if you want to end the book right there, or if you want to continue as a series, then as soon as you hit chapter 20, 19 to 20, is where you start building the plot towards the next book, where it's going to be like the mystery of it. And that's what we did right here. And that's how I write books, and that's how I help people write their book, give them ideas on how they want to write it. My way is not the best way, it's not the only way, but I just gave you guys an example with Wenchkin on how you can go from beginning to end. And we didn't have no title. We don't even know the title of this damn thing yet.
No.
We just did straight brainstorming and writing. And this is good because at the end, that's how you can figure out what the title could be of this book. The title shouldn't, most of the time it shouldn't be at the beginning because you don't know which direction you want to run with it. So what we did today was your story that you wanted to hear, and we formulated it to your liking. So there it is. Any
You know,
words, Winskin, on your
really
end
amazing
on
to hear
the
it put
process?
together. Hey, tap on right, not a problem, mate. That was fantastic. Thanks for the writing prompt.
And we had a lot of people in here popping in, a lot of first timers coming in. I'm
Yeah.
looking at my stuff here. We had like a lot of people. And I have not streamed in a long time. And I'm branching away from gaming streaming. I want to focus on this more because this is a hobby of mine. I have my own company and I want to help people tell their story and put it out there. That's the main focus of Bamboo Village Books. And if you see behind me, that's the logo that I have behind me here that you can see. It's already in the works. I have stuff out there. When is the next session? The next session is going to be Saturday. And I'm going to let Winchkin go to bed today. I'm always pulling them late hours. But
That's only
during the week, we'll figure out.
quarter past 4 in the morning.
Yeah, it's 4 in the morning for him there. And it's 1 after 1 p.m. in the afternoon here in Texas. And Winchkin is in Australia. So, it's not just based on one location. It could be anywhere. And my goal is to build a writing
You
team.
enjoy this? Oh, mate,
So once we
great
get a
you enjoyed
writers
it, have
guild
you?
together, then you'll see more of us on Saturday. It'll be not just me and Winchkin, it'll be more of us in
Hey,
here.
Big
Big
Fish, how you doing,
Fish,
brother?
what's going on, man? So yeah, it's gonna be a group of us in time to build a guild of writers. So we're not gonna be writing on one book as a group, but we'll be here brainstorming and creating stories like this for you guys. So it's not only just writing books, you get to hear story time with us and build it. And this will help you guys hopefully with your book that you're going to write in the future. You always have a story to tell. So just start brainstorming, do a brain dump on a piece of paper, and go from there. Any closing remarks, Winskin?
No, I just like to thank everyone for going ahead and being here and spending the time with us and working with us. It's been fantastic having you all and doing this.
Yes, and
So
you'll see more
thanks
of us
for
on
a
Saturdays. We'll set the time. I don't know the time yet, but it's going to be early in the
Yeah,
morning for us on the US side to make sure Wenchkin
that'd be
doesn't stay
great.
up
Is
till
that
4 in
one
the
of his
morning
books
again.
that's made of short stories? Cool.
So yeah, that's all I got. I appreciate it's 1:15 my time here in Texas.
Yeah,
Probably like,
4:15 a.m. here.
oh my lord, Wenchkin go to bed before your wife kill both of us.
Ah, she'll be fast asleep.
Yeah, the sun about to come up on your end.
I know. Give it another 5 minutes, and the sun will start rising here.
Oh man. Well, thank you all
We'll
very
sit around on
much.
the
I
all
am gonna
week.
close my stream out here. I skipped
Well,
breakfast and lunch just to enjoy this moment with you guys. So it's a magical
look,
moment for me. I love it.
thank you very much, everyone, for being here, and hope to see you all again soon.
Alrighty. See y'all
Take
later.
care, everyone. Thank you.